Good morning, everybody. Welcome back to my channel. I totally missed making videos like every day. And now that I've been back home and worked through my jet lag, I'm feeling super excited. My eyebrow grew back. I don't know if you can get a good look there, but I mean, like, it grew back so quick. It's almost time for me to get it like hacked again. So I wanted to come on today to talk about the movie Girls Trip. I saw it last night. You know, I love a good girls trip. I'm definitely a straight girls tripper. So I was super excited when I saw the previews like a couple months ago because I love Queen Latifah. I love Jada Pinkett Smith. I got to know, the other newer actress too, and I thought it was just totally awesome, to be able to go in and see them like in a totally new flick. So the overall theme of the movie, of course, is reminiscing and just kind of being a part of a friendship situation where, just like with all relationships, we go through ups and downs. Sometimes we kind of like lose touch of our friends, and we get a chance to reconnect with them when we can take these trips. Like, I've done quite a few girls trips, and I'm just going to tell you, what happens on a girls trip absolutely stays on a girls trip, and that's the beauty of it. So with these girls, I totally was able to relate. In the beginning of the movie, it kind of gives a quick and brief history of their past, which I love because we got to see they went to FAMU together. They were in each other's weddings when they had them. They had careers. They started out as a singing group in college called the Flossie Posse, which was totally cool. And they kind of just held true to the fact that they all had individual interests, but even throughout that, they had kind of lost the identity that they had in common in college as they pursued their career. So it was totally fun. One of the things I loved about the movie was that, it focused on Essence Fest. I've been to Essence Fest, and besides it being incredibly warm, which is kind of purifying because you get to sweat, and sweat is kind of like sparkling, it's just a part of how our bodies glisten, I guess. So, I remember when I went to Essence Fest with my bestie, Wanisha, who actually was the person that went to Bali with me. We had a blast. I mean, we saw celebrities, we went to parties, we were lit, we were turned. It was just a lot of fun. So to get to see another glimpse like 4 years later of their rendition of what Essence Fest was like was super awesome. So they capture the spirit and the events of Essence Fest in a really realistic way in the movie. So I thought they did total justice to that cultural event for blacks. Another thing I loved about the movie was just the way they got the New Orleans culture. I would have liked to see more of the food from New Orleans, just a little bit more of the Creole side of it, because food is so major to the Louisiana culture. I noticed that when I went down for Essence Fest because I have a terrible shellfish allergy and I just didn't want to die. So I was like afraid to eat anything just because everything had like a shell still kind of on its back. And sometimes the claws were like still intact on the shrimp and crabs and crawdads and stuff. But in any case, they had an awesome experience down there at Essence Fest, which really mimics the reality of it. I think the only thing that was missing was just like a little bit less conservative dressing in general in public places, which during Essence Fest, it's kind of everything's out, Another thing I thought the movie really explored a lot was forgiveness and fear. A lot of times in our lives, the reason we're not more transparent is because, let's face it, we're afraid. I definitely, even doing the vlog for Bali, I had on no makeup, guys, which I've got my best friend back with me today, if you can see my face. But in Bali, even just not having the makeup and not having that blanket, it was hard to be transparent, not only emotionally and personally, but, babies, they suck passies, and women wear makeup. It's our security blanket. So in the movie, it kind of talks about the different things we fake and we put on that public facade, when really inside, like, that part of our life could be totally crumbling. I have absolutely been there. And I think we all still struggle with it in some areas. So I thought it was awesome just to see that theme that doesn't just impact black women, but women, men, everybody. We do put on a little bit of a public face just so we can save face and appear to be as successful as we portray ourselves to be, if you are on social media and things of that nature, I thought it also spoke a lot to the culture of forgiveness. In the movie, just like real friends, they've got some disagreements, some things that kind of happened a long time ago that maybe weren't brought up. There's some arguing, some fighting. I mean, it is downright just damn funny. It's awesome. I mean, we've all been and witnessed a girl fight before, or told a girlfriend off and went back later and like hugged them. And so I thought that really brought out a side of me that I thought, you know, we've all been there. We don't all have to like each other the same, but deep down, we love each other dearly. So I would definitely recommend the movie to others. It ends on a note that it could absolutely have a sequel. And I love movies that have sequels. Everybody who knows me in undergrad knows I loved The Best Man. In undergrad, I would actually I'm just going to be honest, I would watch it every day on a loop in my dorm room. I still have the TV upstairs that I watched it on, a white TV with an attached VHS player. So as you can see, I'm aging quite gracefully, I hope. So anyway, The Best Man was like it for me. It was my pacifier, you know, back then, just like my makeup is now. And it's awesome when you see a movie that's classic enough that you can watch it over and over, and every time still laugh, still cry, and still find a part of yourself in it every single time you see it. So I would definitely recommend it to others. It has quite a long run time of about 2 hours and 10 minutes, but I promise you, from the time your ass hits the seat to the time you get up, you will be laughing, crying. I mean, you're right there with the stars, and I think that as they act it out, you can see the fun in their eyes. You can see just everything they're doing. They're living it in that moment. And I think that's what makes a movie authentic enough for us to be able to relate to it when we forget that we're at the movies. I mean, it was just awesome. I almost forgot to eat my popcorn, which anybody who knows me knows anything with butter on it is like my new best friend. So in any case, it's just been fun to be able to come back on, give an update, and say hello. If you like the video, please hit like. If you comment, I will absolutely promise to comment back to your comment, because I love being able to connect and know what other people are doing and what they thought about the video too. It's been fun just to get back on here and know I can connect with friends, family, and others in a way that's non-traditional and in a way that's so authentic. Thanks to everybody who tuned in this far in this almost 8-minute video, and I look forward to keeping you guys up to date in the future. If there's something you'd like to see a video on, hit me up, and stay cool, because even though it's super hot outside, every season has a purpose. And this heat of summer is purifying. You know, as we sweat, we absolutely can't complain. I told my son yesterday, he said, "Mom, it's hot as hell outside. Did you stick your head out?" I said, you know, it's somebody who's not here this summer that was here last summer. They don't care how hot it is. They would love to just be able to feel the sunshine on their face one more time, or have one more day to be able to be a friend or to be a family member, even if it's at a cookout where it's unbearably hot. So I think that the little things we take for granted, there's always somebody else who would beg just to be in our shoes. So we have to appreciate every season. And I love summer because it does heat us up. It warms us. And maybe that's the kilt that we need in our lives, just like pottery, to kind of make our paint shiny. Like, what if it is that sunlight of summer on that 103-degree Saturday, like yesterday, that we need to seal in the layers of paint that are on our life to make them whole, to make them pure, to make them shiny and glossy, because everybody wants to be shiny. And it's going to be a process. So hope you have a good rest of the day, and thanks for joining me on this journey.